So what's top of mind for me today, this week, this month? It's very much forward thinking. After having been here for a year and really sort of learning my way around, I'm really starting to think a lot about where do we need to go as a community. And as you've listened to me, you know that I'm a mission-driven person. I like to talk about the missions of academic medicine. In the clinical arena, we need to continue to grow our clinical faculty. Our doctors are great. People want to see them. We've got to make it possible for people to see our doctors. We need more doctors, and we need to be able to expand our clinical offerings. That's fun stuff. On the research front, we have fantastic researchers. We need to really focus on recruitment into a couple of our basic science departments. We also need to really expand our thinking in team science, large grants, people from different disciplines working together. On our education front, well, we're in the midst of accreditation, both for our MD program and our PA program. So that is definitely front of mind. As we get through our accreditation, I think we want to start to also think about what's the future of medical education? What's the future of science education? And those will be fun conversations. And finally, our fourth mission, community. I'm always thinking about how we can better serve our community, how we can be a more integral part of our community. And stay tuned for some of the things we're going to be thinking about and talking about in the months ahead. The advice that I give students, whether they're medical students or graduate students, about their studies and their career path goes something like this. Try to enjoy what you're doing and try to focus on an area that excites you. Don't get into, well, I have to do something because somebody else said that I should do something. Really try to find the path that you enjoy. Because I think that's what makes for a sustainable career, is that if you are really entering into a life of investigation, a life of clinical care that really appeals to you. I'm a cardiologist, as many of you know. I love everything to do with the heart. I love to think about the heart's anatomy. I'm an interventional cardiologist, so spent my life really thinking about coronary artery disease. And I could look at cath films all day long. I love taking care of patients with cardiac problems. I love teaching about cardiac problems. I love walking around the hospital, making rounds, and talking to teams of residents and fellows about how to care for cardiac patients. Do what you love. That's what's going to make for a sustaining career. Teamwork is critical to everything we do here at Weill Cornell Medicine, whether we're talking about clinical care, we're talking about science, we're talking about teaching. Teams are really what makes the difference. In the clinical arena, it's easy to understand. You need people of different backgrounds, different expertise, different training in order to take care of some of the most complex patients that we take care of at Weill Cornell Medicine. But it's similar in the science front. We need people bringing different types of investigative skills to the table in order to solve big problems. And the problems we're trying to solve in our science laboratories, in our clinical research settings, in our population health science research settings are really big problems. And it requires people with clinical understanding of an issue. It requires people with basic discovery science understanding of an issue. It requires people with computational skill to bring that to the table. I like to think that as an interventional cardiologist, I'm well steeped in the need for teamwork. If you go into the cath lab, you will see in any given room 5, 6, 10 people, all of whom have very different skill sets trying to take care of one patient. Think about some of the things we do in the cath lab today, treating a patient, for example, with structural heart disease, something like valvular heart disease. We have imagers, we have anesthesiologists, we have nurses, we have the interventional cardiologists. Sometimes we have vascular surgeons. We have cardiothoracic surgeons. We have fellows. We have students. We have technicians. It's an amazing, almost symphony that comes together to take care of that individual patient. So teamwork, I'm big on teamwork. I love to hire former varsity athletes because I think they understand teamwork. And so learn early on how to work together effectively in teams. So, what skills are essential to advance the fields of science and technology? I always go back to the basics. Foundational skills are what are critical. Take myself, I'm a clinical researcher. The foundational aspects of clinical research are biostatistics, epidemiology, study design, and methods. Those are critical as we try to advance our field in science and technology. I'm often asked by staff, where can they get the skills, where they can acquire the skills to advance their own careers and maybe their own learnings as they try to develop here at Weill Cornell Medicine. Here's a special shout out for the staff and organizational development who have pulled together a whole series of resources that are going to enable all of us to get skills that we need to advance our own fields. So take advantage of it. So I'm a big fan of podcasts. I listen to podcasts as a way to get information. I love conversations between or among experts in the field. As the questioner has noted, I have had a podcast of my own for many years now. How do I think about my podcast? Well, I think about things first that interest me, and then I think about somebody who's working in the field, and then I ask that person to have a conversation with me. And I approach it what I call the man on the street method. I just want to ask the questions that we all want to know. And so I spend a lot of time thinking about what that person might be writing about, what they might be talking about. And then I just jump in with the questions that I think interest me. And by extension, I hope interest other people. I think that adult learning has as one of its basis, learning from conversation, learning from questions, learning from dialogue. And so I've tried to keep my podcast really focused in that direction. So with Thanksgiving soon to happen, I think it's a great time to think about kindness and gratitude. There's always room for kindness in our atmosphere here at Weill Cornell. I think kindness towards one another makes us all better. And certainly at the Thanksgiving season, gratitude should be expressed regularly. I'm grateful for a great family. I'm grateful for a great working environment here at Weill Cornell Medicine. Tell each other that you're grateful for the help that people are giving you and be kind to one another.